3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading, in particular, mystery reading number 1202. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome. And thank you very much for your support as well as your presence during this reading. So, I don't know if you heard the cat while I was talking, but she was over here doing something that she wasn't supposed to do, so I just tapped her, and that was the noise you heard if you did. But I just saw the number 111, and I think 123 on the timer, and both of these numbers bring the messages about having trust, having faith, and trusting that everything happens for a reason. There's really a feeling here about putting all of your trust and all of your faith into the universe. And if you're a Christian or religious, the Bible does say something about waiting on God to show up and having trust and faith in that possibility while you wait. Yeah. There is something significant here about waiting. Maybe you are waiting for something, or somebody else is waiting on you, or something like that. It could even be the universe and your spirit guides waiting on you to have some sort of realization or to make a certain decision. Moving into interpreting 1202. We already talked about how the number 1 is about having trust and faith. And whenever I sneeze during a reading, that usually is a sign about blessings for me. So it seems like having trust and faith will pay off, will bring you a blessing or many blessings. I do feel like I have experienced that in my own life. Not being, I guess, blessed in the way that I want, but definitely still in meaningful and important ways, in my opinion. So have trust and faith in yourself, the universe, maybe another person, or a certain situation. Maybe trust the process, and you will be blessed, apparently. And that's really awesome to hear, to be honest. But moving on to the number 2, there are 2 2s in 1202. And this number can be confirmation of a significant relationship or situation on your mind right now or in general that this reading could be about. It's also very much about your choices. I'm seeing in my mind's eye the number 2 on like a birthday candle, and it's lit. I actually made an edit out of this imagery that you may have seen, or maybe not, it depends. But I did see the number 432. Trust that everything happens for a reason, as that message always seems to be, and I just saw 444 on the timer too, which is connected to ancestors and stability. Where do I start here? Because I feel like I just got bombarded with messages and signs and stuff. I think your ancestors do want you to know that they're present, or, you know, there's something here about protection or comfort, safety, security, your instincts. Maybe this has to do with something at home, a close personal relationship like a family member, or just a close friend that you would call family. Or your job, or anything to do with your stability. Or this could even be like emotional stability too. I think our ancestors collectively always want for us to have peace and predictability and awareness in our lives. Now I'm feeling connected to the days of our lives. Is that a real TV show? I know that it had something to do with Joey from Friends. I don't know if that's a real TV show. I want to take it if it resonates. Maybe there's a specific message there from the TV show Friends, or maybe the days of our lives if it's real. But the idea of friends, maybe the name Joey could be significant, but the idea of friends really makes me think for somebody. This could have to do with somebody that isn't blood related, but you would call family. Whatever this significant relationship or situation is. I don't know if I already said this, but number 2 is also about your choices and choosing wisely. Yeah. Be wise with your choices and make sure that you are making choices that protect you, your emotions, your stability, emotionally and physically. But this decision or these decisions, they don't have to be about protection. For somebody they are, but they don't have to be, no matter what though. Just be wise with your choices while you navigate this relationship or situation, and have the faith and trust in your ability to navigate whoever or whatever this is in a way that leads to what you deserve ultimately. You know, whatever you are desiring out of this relationship or situation that may or may not end with the same person or the same environment or something like that. The number 0 can be about recurring themes or patterns, and I feel like there's somebody here who could be seeing recurring signs, messages that are important for you to pay attention to. As I usually say, these patterns or things could show up in spiritual communication, your experiences and the way that things align, or in some other way. Regardless, though, it's important that you pay attention to what they mean or where they're leading you. The number 0 can also be about putting yourself first, so only take this message if it resonates to put yourself first, because it may not resonate for everybody. But I do think in general, maybe boundaries or using your voice, making yourself heard, could be important or significant. Maybe somebody here who feels called to heal, to end a pattern or recurring themes or certain cycles. And it could be something here about a major ending that could lead to good luck or good fortune. It could also be connected to your ancestors and your stability. But when you add up these numbers, you get the number 5. 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2. And the number 5 is about change and transformation. So this could be a sign that maybe there's something here that you need to change within yourself, a change in perspective, changing how you feel, changing your beliefs. Or it could be a change that needs to happen in a certain relationship or a certain situation. Overall, the number 1202 has encouraged you to have trust and faith and to really be wise with your decisions or a specific decision right now that could be connected to a specific relationship or a specific situation. Pay attention to the patterns, the reoccurring themes, no matter where they show up. And don't be afraid to put yourself first if that's what you feel called to do, especially if you are feeling called to protect yourself. And if there is resistance to putting yourself first, even when you know you should, I would take a deeper look into that. And if it's something to do with fear, what is making you hesitant, decide whether or not this fear is trying to protect you or limit you, to help you understand how you should move forward. There is a change here that needs to happen, that could be happening right now, or that will happen in the future. And this change could be an internal transformation, or it can be an external transformation. Something feels like it's going to shift or is shifting, or something here about evolution. I am feeling connected to Eve from Adam and Eve. I'm also feeling connected to Christmas Eve. So, only take the significance of these things if they truly are significant for you. But I have a few decks of cards on the table. Here is the Secrets of Tarot cards, and these cards and these index cards are just cards that I made myself and wrote on the things that I felt called to write. There could be something significant here about Amazon for somebody, maybe the company, the rainforest, something else. Let's start with drawing out just one of these tarot cards to get more context and more details. Kind of want which one? Which one do I take? Okay, this one. Okay, so I have the High Priestess in reverse, and it says decision, balance. What does that say? Partner. The artist of this deck wrote, highest card in the tarot deck, very powerful, good or bad secrets to be revealed. This card was in reverse. And I also want to show you this card, the Wheel of Fortune. Because I originally wanted to pull this card, but I felt called to a different one, and it was this one right here. But this feels like this Wheel of Fortune card is confirming for somebody that a major change or transition could lead to a fortunate outcome. A very fortunate outcome. But the High Priestess is about your intuition. When it's in reverse, you're either not listening to your intuition, or it's suppressed or distorted in some way. Your inner voice is trying to tell you something, it's trying to guide you somewhere, and you're either not listening or you're not seeing it. And I'm seeing the number 432, a message about trusting that everything happens for a reason. So something here for a reason is blocking you from listening to your intuition, your gut, your instincts. Let's go ahead and draw out from a different deck. Let's read. Oh, this one. No, this one. Okay. This card has two sides. And the first side says, don't be afraid of life. If you're not afraid of life, there is no such thing as loss. Regardless of what happens, what's lost, it says, is always replaced. Yeah. Let me think for a second. I think there's something here about the fear of loss. Maybe there is a certain relationship, a certain situation, a certain thought or feeling or belief that you need to let go of, but fear is standing in the way of you doing that. The fear of loss. It could even be the fear of losing face. You know, the loss could be obvious, or it might be something that you have to dig for. If you're not seeing what you're afraid to lose, I really encourage you to reflect more on any fears that you have or that you're feeling around a significant change that could actually turn out to be more fortunate than you realize. The other side says, learn to find the calm within the storm. And there's a little sketch of a tornado here. Yeah. I think learning how to be the calm here is really going to make your intuition much louder. You might want to spend more time being still, being in the silence, or meditating. There's something important here to reflect on, it seems like. Something that needs to change, that needs to be released, that maybe you're afraid to let go of. Let's draw out the last card here with these index cards. Okay, so this says your German ancestors are trying to connect with you, so you could be German. You don't have to be. This could definitely be a more general message that your ancestors could be trying to connect with you. And it feels like they are, or they could be, I want to take it if it resonates, pointing to how this significant change could bring you more stability and a stronger sense of safety and security in your life. But if you do have German ancestors, this is just extra confirmation for you. And we already talked about the number 2 here, but that is about, it's confirmation of a significant relationship, a situation, and the need to be wise with your decisions right now. You might regret later on down the line not letting go or going through some sort of major change or transition. Overall, this reading has encouraged you a little bit to have trust and faith and in whatever way you feel called to, and to be wise with your decisions while you navigate something. And allow yourself to move with some sort of change, a significant change that it seems like your intuition is nudging you about, but for some reason you're not listening to or not seeing. And it's very possible that fear of loss is what's making it hard for you to see the need for change. And that's where it's important for you to learn how to be the calm within the storm, learn how to silence your mind so you can really hear your inner voice. I really, really encourage you to sit in the silence or to meditate, whatever you need to do to focus more inwardly and less outwardly. And know that your ancestors are supporting you with this and your spirit guides in general. So do pay attention to any signs and messages, recurring patterns or themes that they could be sending you to try to support you or to even have more trust and faith in your own intuition, especially if it feels good.